Sabonzy Academy. So in this video, we'll be solving the question 7 of the 2019 Nov-Dec core maths theory questions. So I take the question. The marks obtained by 100 students in an essay competition are given in the table. A. Calculate correct to 2 decimal places the mean mark of students who scored between 50 and 74. So for A, we are calculating the mean of students who scored between 50 and 74. So from here to here. So we know that mean is equal to the sum of f of x over the sum of f. So from our table, we don't have x. We have two values for x. We have the upper limit and then the lower limit. So to find one value of x, we find the average of the upper limit and then the lower limit. So in the case of marks from 50 to 54, our x will be 50 plus 54 divided by 2. We do same for 55 to 59, then 60 to 64. So let's draw our table again. So we have our marks, which is 50 to 54. Then we have 70 to 74. Since you are finding the mean for marks between 50 to 74, then we have our frequency, which is the number of students who scored a particular mark. So for 50 to 54, we have 15 students. For 55 to 59, we have 5 students. For 60 to 64, we have 20 students. For 65 to 69, we have 12 students. Then for 70 to 74, we have 28. So our sum of f will be equal to the 15 plus 5 plus 20 plus 12 plus 28. And that should give us 80. Now, like I said earlier, our x will be the midpoint of the upper limit and then the lower limit. So let's name it class mark, which is our x. So 50 plus 54 divided by 2, we should have 52. We do same for 55 and 59, we should have 57. So we have 62 here, we have 67 here, and we have 72 here. So that will be for our s. So that will be for our x. Now finding fx, which is the product of f and x. So 15 times 52, we should have 780. Then 5 times 57, we have 285. So for this, we have 1,240. Then we have 804. Then we have 2016. So the sum of f of x should be equal to 5125. So now moving on to find our mean. Our mean will be equal to sum of f of x, which is 5125. So 5125 divided by the sum of f, which is 80. So this should give us 64.06, corrected to 2 decimal places. All right, so moving on to B, draw a histogram for the distribution. So for B, we draw a table for our histogram. We have our marks, we have our class mark, okay, which is our x, and we have our frequency, which is our f. So for the marks, we have 50 to 54, 55 to 59, so our table will look something like this. Our x is the midpoint of our lower limit and then our upper limit. So 50 plus 54 divided by 2, which is 52. 55 plus 59 divided by 2, which is 57. 60 plus 64 divided by 2, which is 62. So we do the same for all the cells. Now we are moving on to our histogram. So from our question, says we should draw a histogram for the distribution. So this will be our y-axis, and this will be our x-axis. So x and y. So for x, we have values from 52 to 97. So 52, 57, 97. And now y will be our frequency. So from 1 to 15. We have. So if x is 52, our f is 15. And 15 will be over here. So we have this. So we should have this. Now if x is 57, we have 5. So 5 should be somewhere here. Then for 62, we have 20. Should be here. For 67, we have 12. So it should be here. So our histogram should be similar to this. Now moving on to part C of the question, it says use the histogram to estimate the modal mark. So we know that the mode or modal mark will be the highest mark. So we know that the mode is the number that occurred the most, or the number with the highest frequency. But when we look at our histogram, the mark with the highest frequency is 72. So we move to the bar with the highest frequency. Then with our ruler, we make a straight line to touch the edge of this and then the edge of this. So we do something like this. And we do something like this. So our modal mark will be the point of intersection of the two lines. So here. So when we do it correctly, our modal mark should be between 67 and 72. Alright, so that brings us to the end of question 7. Now don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section.